the world is not as it seems. In every corner of the globe, shadows whisper secrets. Places where logic fails, science stumbles, and the unexplained lingers, year after year, mystery after mystery. Today, we venture into the unknown, where the air is heavy with questions and the darkness hides truths no one dares to speak aloud. These are not just stories. These are warnings. So sit tight, and you will have incredible luck if you like and subscribe before this video ends. 1. The Eternal Flame, the fire that should not burn. Deep in Chestnut Ridge Park, New York, the trees huddle close, choking out the sunlight. The air is thick with the scent of wet earth and burning wood. Here, behind a roaring waterfall, a secret has burned for generations, the eternal flame. Scientists arrive, eager to explain the impossible. Gas pockets, they said, the Earth's own breath. But when they tested the rock, it was cold to the touch. The flame should have died long ago, yet it burned on, indifferent to their theories. One autumn night in 1983, a group of hikers ventured too close. They spoke of a presence in the grotto, a whisper beneath the roar of the waterfall, a shape in the firelight that had no face. The flames sputtered. The air grew thick. One by one, their lanterns flickered and died. When dawn came, they emerged from the woods, shaken, their memories blurred. They could not recall what they had seen, only that they would never go back. Years later, a geologist returned, determined to solve the mystery once and for all. He set up his instruments, drilled into the rock, and waited. As the sun set, the flame flickered. The instruments went wild. The temperature plummeted. A sound echoed through the grotto, a sound like laughter or weeping. The geologist fled, leaving his equipment behind. To this day, the eternal flame burns. But those who listen closely swear they can hear voices in the mist, voices that whisper secrets no living soul should know. 2. The Crooked Forest, the trees that remember. In the cold, silent woods of Poland, near the town of Grafino, something unnatural lurks beneath the earth. The Crooked Forest is no ordinary grove. Here, 400 pine trees stand in neat rows, each bent at the base as if bowing to an unseen master. The curve is sharp, sudden, unnatural. Scientists scratch their heads. Gravity, they said, pulls things down, not sideways. Snowfall, not enough to explain such a perfect, uniform bend. The locals knew better. They spoke in hushed tones of the winter of 1930, when the trees were young, a night when the stars vanished, and the air hummed with a sound like distant thunder. In the morning, the trees were changed. Some said they saw lights in the forest, lights that moved without wind, without reason. Others spoke of a shadow that passed between the trees, a shadow with no source. In 1978, a team of researchers set up cameras, determined to catch the truth. For weeks, nothing happened. Then, on the night of the new moon, the cameras malfunctioned. The footage was corrupted, except for one frame. A blur, a shape, something moving among the trees. The researchers packed up and left, refusing to speak of what they had seen. To this day, the Crooked Forest stands, a silent monument to something we cannot name. The trees bend, as if in warning, and those who walk among them at night swear they are not alone. 3. The Taos hum, the sound that should not be. In the small town of Taos, New Mexico, the night is never silent. For decades, a strange sound has haunted the town, a low, relentless hum, like an idling diesel engine. It is the Taos hum, and it drives some to madness. In 1991, Eleanor Riggs sealed her windows with duct tape. The hum had started again, a diesel engine inside her skull. She was not alone. 2% of the town's residents heard it, night and day. They spoke of sleepless nights, of headaches that never faded, of voices that whispered in the static. Scientists arrived with sensitive equipment, determined to find the source. They detected infrasound at 17 hertz, the frequency of fear. But the hum was elusive. It changed tone, moved through the town, faded and returned without warning. In 2015, 23 residents simultaneously dreamed of a black machine buried beneath the desert. Their teeth vibrated for days. The hum stops when it rains, but the desert hasn't seen rain in 12 years. 4. The Hessdalen Lights, the pulse of the valley. Hessdalen Valley, Norway, 1981. Teacher Leif Johansson stood on his porch, breath fogging the icy air. That's when he saw it. A light, cold and blue, pulsing like a heart in the darkness. It hovered for an hour, then vanished. When he checked his watch, it had been rewound for 3 hours. For over a century, these lights have haunted Hessdalen. They swell to the size of cars, split into fragments, or streak across the sky like dying stars. Scientists descended with spectrometers and radar. In 2008, they detected elements unknown to Earth, a signature that defied the periodic table. Plasma? Ball lightning? The instruments shrugged. But the valley guards its secrets fiercely. In 1996, a team of researchers vanished overnight. Search teams found tents slashed from the inside. Footprints led into the mountains, size 22, inhumanly large. No bodies were ever found. Today, the lights still return. Locals hang iron crosses on their doors, a futile shield against the unknown. And at night, when the orbs pulse brightest, children whisper of the watchers in the sky. 5. Iceland's hidden people, the unseen nation. Reykjavik, 2017. Construction crews broke ground on Site G7 until the earth swallowed their bulldozers. Soil samples revealed silica crystal structures unlike any mineral. Elf hair, locals whispered. Iceland's hidden people had spoken. For centuries, Icelanders have coexisted with the Huldufolk, the hidden people. Over half the population reports encounters. A woman guided home by a lantern in a blizzard. A farmer whose sheep only thrive where the little ones permit. In 2020, a child drew her Stonehouse family. Geologists scanned her backyard and found a buried Viking longhouse beneath the soil. But defiance carries consequences. In 2015, a road crew ignored warnings and blasted through an alf hole. Within hours, machinery failed. Workers fell ill with identical fevers. The project was abandoned, the hill now marked by a sign, "Respect the Unseen." 6. The Marfa Lights, the Devil's Lanterns. Mitchell Flat, 1883. Rancher Ben Hayes watched in terror as devil lanterns herded his cattle into Box Canyon. At dawn, the cattle were gone. The canyon walls were warm to the touch. For 140 years, these lights have defied logic. Headlights? Campfires? Then explain the 1945 sighting by B-17 pilots, or the lights that swarmed a church in 2023. In 1999, a film crew captured the unthinkable, a light morphing into a humanoid shape. Their director vanished that night. His camera was found in the desert, recording 72 hours of static and a voice whispering coordinates. 7. Chile's UFO corridor, the sky serpents of Atacama. Atacama, Chile, the driest place on Earth. A land where the air itself crackles with static and the ground remembers every secret. Here, the sky is never truly empty. It began in 1977. Raul Fuentes, a miner, left his shift at midnight, drawn by a strange, humming vibration in the sand. He looked up. A ribbon of light, emerald and gold, snaked across the sky, twisting and coiling like a living thing. Raul dropped his pickaxe and ran. By dawn, he was gone. All that remained were his boots, neatly placed at the edge of a spiral geoglyph etched into the desert floor. But Raul was not the first. For centuries, the Atacama has been a corridor for the unexplained. Pre-Columbian glyphs, thousands of years old, show sky serpents and beings with elongated heads. Locals whisper of Los Visitantes, the visitors, who descend in columns of light and leave behind only silence. In 2014, the Chilean Navy tracked a metallic object moving against the wind, faster than any known craft. Their video, released to the world, showed a disc hovering, then vanishing in a burst of static. The government's own Committee for Studies of Anomalous Aerial Phenomena, CIFA, declared, no known explanation. In 2021, 17 pilots flying over San Clemente reported tunnels of light that bent the stars. Their flight recorders glitched, showing gravitational anomalies and time loops. Minutes lost, memories erased. Some pilots never flew again. Radiation spikes, electromagnetic storms, and the voices, always the voices. In the silence of the desert, geologists recorded a frequency too low for human ears. When sped up, it sounded like chanting in a language no one could translate. The Atacama's secrets are written in stone and sky. Some say the geoglyphs are maps, warnings to stay away. Others believe they are invitations, coordinates for something waiting above. Every year, the sightings grow bolder. The lights linger longer. And every year, another wanderer vanishes beneath the endless stars, leaving only footprints spiraling into the sand. 8. The Nazca Lines. Messages to the unseen. The Nazca Desert. A place where the earth is marked with scars too vast to see from the ground. For centuries, the lines have endured, etched into the crust, stretching for miles, forming patterns that only make sense from the sky. But who were these messages for? And who, or what, was meant to answer? It was 550 AD when the shaman Kichi stood at the heart of the hummingbird glyph. The stars aligned above, and his people watched in silence as he traced the line with his bare feet. His final journal entry, found centuries later, read, "They walk the lines now. We are not alone." Discovery led to obsession. Scientists mapped the lines, measured them, speculated endlessly. Some believed they were ancient runways for forgotten gods. Others saw astronomical calendars or irrigation maps. But the true purpose slipped through their fingers like sand. In 2020, satellite imaging revealed something new. Deep beneath the lines, hidden rivers mirrored the shapes above. Waterways, long dried, followed the patterns of monkeys and condors. Was this a map to survival, or a desperate plea to the sky? Drones flown over the lines in 2018 malfunctioned, every single one. The error message was identical, entity detected. Local guides refused to return, muttering about the walkers of the lines, spirits that protect the desert's secrets. Then came the storms. Each time the wind howled and the sky turned black, new lines appeared, perfectly straight, impossibly fresh, as if drawn by invisible hands. No footprints, no tools, only the marks themselves, growing, shifting, rearranging the ancient code. Some say the lines are a map for visitors from the stars. Others believe they are a warning, a boundary not to be crossed. But the desert keeps its silence, and the lines endure. 9. Tsunami Ghosts, the Drowned Who Walk. Tohoku, March 11, 2011. The earth shook. The sea roared. In minutes, entire towns were erased from the map. More than 16,000 souls were lost. Some were never found. But in the years that followed, the survivors began to notice something impossible. On cold, moonlit nights, taxis still pick up passengers along the ruined roads. The meters tick. The drivers talk. But when the cars pull up to empty lots or collapsed homes, the back seats are empty. Only the scent of salt water lingers. They call them tsunami ghosts, the drowned who refuse to leave. In the months after the disaster, sightings surged. Fishermen reported hearing voices on the radio, pleas for help, cries for family. When they searched the waves, they found nothing but silence. One night, Kenji Sato, a fisherman, dragged his nets through debris near the old harbor. A waterlogged child approached, shivering, and asked, "Have you seen my mother?" Kenji turned to answer, and the child dissolved into mist. Monks were called to perform exorcisms. Victims spoke in dialects long forgotten, voices rising and falling like the tide. EVP recordings at evacuation sites captured whispers in 17 different dialects, all pleading for home. Thermal scans showed cold spots drifting through the ruins, moving against the wind, lingering in doorways, clustering where families once gathered. In 2019, a train conductor stopped at a ruined station. Security footage showed him conversing with empty seats. He retired the next day, whispering, "They just wanted to go home." Every year, on the anniversary of the disaster, survivors leave dry clothes on the beach. By morning, the clothes are drenched, as if the dead have returned to dress themselves for the journey home. The tsunami's ghosts are not vengeful. They are lost. They are searching. And in the quiet hours, when the wind stills and the waves hush, you can hear them, whispering, weeping, waiting for someone to guide them home. 10. The Bermuda Triangle, the ocean that eats. The Bermuda Triangle, the Devil's Triangle, a stretch of ocean that has swallowed ships, planes, and lives for centuries. Here, the rules of nature dissolve. Here, even time itself can vanish. The legend began with Christopher Columbus. On the night of October 11, 1492, his logbook trembled with fear. A great flame crashed into the sea. The compass spun, refusing to settle. He and his crew pressed on, into waters that would become a graveyard for the unwary. In 1945, 5 Navy bombers, Flight 19, flew into the triangle and never returned. Their last transmission crackled with static. The ocean is wrong. Search planes sent after them vanished too. In total, more than 75 aircraft and 100 ships have disappeared here. Some were found, empty and adrift. Others were never seen again. Theories swirled like the storms that haunt these waters. Rogue waves, methane bubbles, magnetic anomalies. Some whispered of portals to other worlds, of alien abductions, of ancient curses. But every explanation only deepened the dread. In 2020, a boat carrying 20 passengers vanished without a trace. The Coast Guard found nothing, no wreckage, no oil slick, not even a scrap of clothing. The last message from the captain: "We're surrounded by white water. Instruments failing. I see lights." Then, silence. In 2022, oceanographers mapped the seafloor and found something impossible: a pyramid, larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza, made of glass-like crystal. Sonar readings warped around it. Compasses spun out of control. Divers who approached reported visions, ghostly figures, voices in ancient tongues, and a sense of being watched by something vast and cold. The black box from the SS El Faro, lost in the triangle, recorded 32 minutes of whale song. Then a voice speaking in Enochian, the language of angels. The tape ended with a single, chilling word: return. To this day, ships and planes vanish. Compasses fail. Radios spit out static and voices that shouldn't exist. The Bermuda Triangle isn't hungry. It's bored. And every so often, it reaches out, just to remind us that the ocean keeps its secrets, each one a scar on the earth, a reminder that we are not alone, and never truly safe. These mysteries recur not because we are meant to solve them, but because we are meant to remember, to fear, to wonder. Some doors should never be opened. Some questions should never be answered. But as long as we seek, as long as we dream, the world will keep its secrets, and the shadows will keep calling. Feel free to leave your comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more mysteries like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.